Oh, I
That's
wasn't
why
really
they didn't teach you how to speak properly.
Yeah. Ouch! Opening that heart again. Thank you.
Yeah, some light reading as for a 12-year-old.
Private education.
I was just banging to FHM.
I just think it's a really cool thing to be able to do.
Not?
Exactly, yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
And I definitely think you've got the energy to achieve anything that you want to achieve. Yeah.
I said, what's your goal, Liam? I didn't say what's your small goal.
That's my minimum.
What's the goal then? I was abused when I was younger by a close family friend, suppressed my memories till being 29, and then I've got 5 children. My 3 girls are with my ex-partner, and he died from suicide. God, and then a month after he died, me and my current partner, we had a miscarriage. I remember when I first launched Belief Code, and because it goes deep and it heals, like we've had people who've had...
Hi guys, welcome to the Full Power Podcast. This is a really, really serious podcast. We really gave Jessica Cunningham, who's on the show today, the remit of no smiling, no laughing, and she really was successful in that. Amazing guest, one of the most hilarious guests we've ever had on the show, but we just thought, curtail that. Full Power CACAO is not about that. We're here to be serious and spiritual. So Jessica took us into a belief coding and the magnificent success that it's having with human beings all over the world, how she taps into abundance from the traumas that she's been through in her life, how she's allowed that to be her greatest gifts in disguise, and how she's absolutely smashing it out of the park with all that she does. But just remember, no laughing, no smiling on this episode. You get me?
I've got the nerves now, Liam.
You've got the nerves?
I don't know.
It should be. This is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life.
Obviously. No, John, it's because I'm having a bad hair day. At least you planned me out.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Thanks, Liam. I'll take it. I'm going to take it.
You look like Marge from The Simpsons.
Okay, that was what I was going for.
Have you had that before? You must get that all the time, yeah?
All the time, yeah? You're not the first.
Fucking hell. Right.
She's your Homer, actually, but you know.
Right, Marge. Hold the cacao to your heart. Let's take a breath. Let's compose ourselves. Breathe in. Hold the breath at the top, and then just exhale. Let it all go. Just arriving in the space, letting go of anything, any little stresses that have arrived in your day, getting here, and just letting go. Having a little sip of the cacao. Just feeling that dropping into the heart space, opening the capillaries and the arteries around the heart. So just calling in Lady Cacao into this space. Ish Cacao, Cacadeva. Calling in Mama Cacao. Calling in Tikiara to put a bubble of protection around this space. Archangel Michael, Lord Shiva. And just bringing in that energy of Lady Cacao to really bring the energy up for this podcast, for the highest and best for myself and Jessica, the highest and best for all the team, the highest and best for this podcast, the highest and best for our lives, all our families, all our tribes, and just offering all the fruits, all the benefits of this experience together up to Great Spirit for the greater good of all sentient beings all over the universe, and for the greater good of us, our families, our tribes. And then just repeating after me, Jessica. Matiosh, Matiosh, Matiosh.
Matiosh, Matiosh, Matiosh.
Aho.
Aho.
Full power.
Full power.
Yeah, baby. Drink. Good?
It's nice with the ginger. I've never had ginger. It's good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Cheers. Brost. So I think you're probably going to be like our most mental guest so far. And
no pressure.
And I actually watched you online, and I was like, that's like the kind of female version of me in a way. But
okay, cool.
I probably don't come across as mental online, but I'm pretty mental. Even though Gary today was like, you bring the best out of me, you're so chilled to him. I think I just chilled in front of certain people and then mental in front of other people. Was that a compliment
or an insult though?
No, he was complimenting me because he was like, you just make me want to have more of you in my life.
Yeah.
I was like, you can.
I'll let you know in the next 40 minutes.
Okay. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
So the first question really was Jessica Cunningham.
Yeah.
So are you distantly related to the Cunninghams from Happy Days?
Obviously.
You are?
Yeah, Fons is my uncle.
Oh, the Fons is your uncle?
Yeah, 3 generations back.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it like growing up when, like, you know, your auntie and uncle have got the Fons in the garage?
I've actually got a funny story. And it is actually to do with the Fons. So when I moved school, I was in year 10 and I had to pretend I got expelled from my other school because I went to a private school. And then I went to a public school. I was like, oh, fuck, they're all going to bully me.
You went to a private school? What the fuck happened to your voice?
Burnley, Liam, Burnley.
Private school in Burnley.
I'm just going to open my heart centre a little bit more. But when I moved this school, I was like terrified of getting bullied. So I like lifted my collar up, and in Tipex I wrote the Fons, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool!" I was like, "Yeah, totally." I knew my uncle was coming useful.
Would have had the opposite effect.
No, everyone like copied it. They had the Fons and they had pink ladies, everything.
All right, I loved the Fons, man. Like, I loved Happy Days. Anyway, we've done the big spiritual questions to start with. We've gone deep straight away. This is life-changing. Anyone who's like had a big breakthrough from that initial bit of the conversation, then just put you in the comments and like see how it's changed your life. We appreciate it. We're grateful. No, she spat ginger. Have you got the one with the big bit of ginger in?
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. That's like a special present.
The giggles, I can feel my cheeks getting really red and I put too much blusher on.
That's all right.
Okay, right, back in the room.
Jess Cunningham. Belief coding.
Belief coding, yeah.
Right, we're gonna start with that. That's what that's your main ting now, isn't it? Your main tip.
That's the only ting.
That's the only ting now. That's just like full focus on that.
Oh, 100%, yeah. So I think a few weeks ago we did some scientific trials, and then now belief coding is basically science-backed, and it's funny because I feel like I've had loads.
Does that make it work better? Now it's science
to some people, yes, you know.
Well, it's science-backed. It will definitely work now. Yes, thank you. Didn't work before.
No, but it's funny, right? Because I have loads of ideas, and I find my ideas will distract me. But then since I feel really geeky now, but since being science-backed, I literally feel like all the focus is like, and just literally got me in the zone. But belief coding is amazing. It's life-changing. And I actually always have a cup of cacao before I do belief coding session on myself to open up my heart chakra.
Open up your heart chakra.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you feel it deepens the sessions?
I think so, yeah. I think anything, when you're putting a real intention to it, especially when I have the cacao, I go deep, and it's really, when you can, I feel like I've got the giggles, I feel like I've got really serious.
Do you know, I just wanted to say then, I was like, so Jessica, like, how is your heart feeling right now after having the cacao?
It's totally open.
Oh my God, like, it's so effective, you know?
Totally. Oh, I've got the giggles. And I don't know what I'm saying. No, but since every time I have a cup of cacao, if you ever need to understand like why I feel a certain way or why I'm doing a certain thing, or if I know it's going to go quite deep, I always have cacao. And then, I go deep, I have tears, everything.
Releases.
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
That's good. And so what's belief coding then? Like, for anyone who's not heard of it, like, what the hell is it?
Oh, it's bloody amazing. So do you know, if you ever have any sort of limiting beliefs about yourself, or whenever anyone feels like anxious, depressed, worried, even physical pain, every single thing to do with what limits you as a human being all stems from your subconscious programs and your unconscious beliefs. And that's from like this life, past lives, ancestral lives, everything where our beliefs accumulate. So what belief coding does, it works with a discomfort. So you might have a pain in your knee, or you might not believe you're good enough to do something. And it will take you back to the exact experience where that belief was created, and you change it, it stores instant and long-term memory, and then you just don't have the limitation anymore. Or you can work with the goals. So what's one of your goals that you want to reach for full power?
£500 million business.
Oh my God. Okay, so what you would do there, you'd set the goal, and then I'm sure you'll know this, but anything that needs to come up will start to come up. So, and what I mean by that is, if you set the £500 million goal for full power cacao.
That's minimum, by the way.
Why tell me minimum?
Yeah.
I said, what's your goal, Liam? I didn't say what's your small goal.
That's my minimum.
What's the goal then?
The goal is like to achieve that. That's the minimum.
You just said that's the minimum goal. So what's the big goal?
The big goal is for full power cacao to be a global brand.
What's that in monetary value?
Monetary value, at least $1 billion.
Okay, then this is what I'm talking about.
Because if you're thinking coffee creates £6 billion worth of revenue in the UK alone each year. Wow. So if I can be a global brand, I'll be smashing at least $1 billion. Our business will be smashing at least $1 billion. I won't be personally, but like the business, and then the beauty that you can create from that, being a heart-centered business and being a yoga-based business, and having people to keep me in check, in alignment with those principles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what you would do here then, you set your big goal, and then there's a technique that I use called the alignment method. When you do this technique, you can then pull out any unconscious beliefs that are literally stopping you from reaching that goal. And again, you'd work on each unconscious belief which would take you back to an experience, you'd heal it, so then you no longer have the unconscious belief. Because it's so everyone says you need to work on your beliefs, but the thing is, people will tell you what they believe the problem is, but that's the cover that covers the unconscious belief. Does that make sense?
Is that basically saying that the only problem's within you?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yes.
Like everything. So, for example, I can't think of it, for example, which I can't think of right now.
For example, at the moment there's no examples, but when science gets an example, the examples will prove... Can we fact check that, please?
No, don't. We're not in the journals yet. No, so essentially, everything, right? So you might say, so if I said to you, okay, so why have you not done it yet?
Why have I not done... Why is it not 500?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the process of creating it.
Okay, should we see if you've got any unconscious beliefs?
Yes.
Okay then, so place your hand on your heart and then just tune in. What would be the benefit of you doing the 500 million?
What would be the benefit?
Yeah, that you can think of straight away.
I can get a helicopter and get about in a helicopter quite easier because I live in Southwest Wales and it's 3 hours to get anywhere.
Okay then. So now we're going to pull out the unconscious belief. What is the benefit to not having the helicopter?
The benefit to not having a helicopter,
if you had to guess.
I don't have to fuel it and I don't have to pay a pilot and I don't have to create a helipad in my garden, which my missus might be a bit upset about.
Go deeper. Or what is one actual benefit? So if you're being serious,
the benefit of having a helicopter is that I can get about and do business quicker and slicker.
Okay.
But no, the main reason for having a £500 million business is so that we can, if we create that much wealth, that means I have served so many people on a global level. And the whole mission of CACAO is to open people's hearts and be the medicine of ascension and 5D consciousness.
Yes. Okay, so here's a question.
Question
time. Do we have a drum roll, please?
We can put one of them in.
So what, if you had to guess, I know the first thing that comes into your mind, what is the benefit of not being able to do business quicker, of not reaching all those people? The subconscious benefit, so the one that might not make any sense.
I don't feel there is a benefit of not doing it.
Okay. What action do you need to take to do it?
What action do we need to take to create that?
Yeah.
That business is to just keep doing what we're doing and expanding rapidly.
What's the action then?
The action is TV adverts.
What's the benefit to not doing a TV advert?
We stay small and we don't put ourselves in vulnerable situations of being ridiculed or whatever it may be.
Okay, so open your eyes. So you're starting to pull out the unconscious beliefs. So every single time that you want to achieve anything, if you know what you need to do and you know how it benefits you, but for some reason you're not doing it or getting anywhere near it, it's because unconsciously, safety relies on being small, right? You don't get judged. There's other stuff that comes after you. So until you clear that unconscious beliefs, your actions will always, or your thought processes will always be based on the unconscious belief that is literally living in your subconscious. So as soon as you clear that, you do different actions. But whereas, again, you probably have experienced this, every time we go to the level of growth, everything falls apart, right? Just before you get the next level.
Yeah, because it's the universe testing. It's like, do you really want it? Do you really, really want it?
Yeah, but also it'll throw all of your unconscious beliefs at you to make you fall apart. And then that is the stuff you got to work on. So for me, when you talk about making, $500 million, I think to make that money, you have to go through, and you'll know yourself because you're doing it. You're literally you're there. You're walking the walk. But it's a huge spiritual practice to be able to make the money, create the impact, because you have to get over the judgment. You have to get over the fear. There's so much stuff like spiritually that you have to do to evolve, to get you to your next level. And I think
to understand, like as Oscar Wilde said, ridicule is a tribute paid by the mediocrities to the genius.
Mic drop, but this understand. Mac wiggle.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, do you know, it's really refreshing actually, because I think sometimes when you're in this world of like spirituality, nobody talks about money, and a lot of the time, like, well, if you're really kind, you do it for free, but you think, hang on a minute, you don't have a bloody clue.
And not eat.
Yeah, no.
And not pay me bills.
Yeah. But they have no idea of like how much blood, sweat, tears, money, time, everything you invest into it. And for a long time, I don't know if you bought into it, but I bought into that. I was like,
me too. Yeah. And it was for me. It was a big process. It was a book that I read called The Science of Getting Rich, where it was like, this guy was saying that God wants you to be wealthy. You're only by being wealthy is where you inspire the most amount of people because they see you and you're like, where did you come from? Oh, and you're doing that. Like, and the fact I'm from a council estate, it's like anyone can do it. Anybody can do anything anyway. If there's somebody doing something on the planet, it's already demonstrated to you that it can be done. And if there's something that's nobody's done on the planet, it's like, be excited that you might be the first person that's going to do it.
Oh, I
do you
love
know what I mean?
that.
So it's like, so a lot of the stuff that you're talking about with belief coding, I think in some ways I went on that a lot with my abundance journey because I had to eradicate a lot of old, because I'm from poverty consciousness. My dad's from poverty consciousness. My mum's from poverty consciousness. They're both, you know, grew up in poverty. So even though they did better as adults and provided a better situation for me, they would still be carrying that poverty consciousness and the programming of like money doesn't grow on trees. You know, you can't have that. We've not got enough for this. Like my dad's Irish, everyone's ripping him off. We had to drive around. We had to drive around to get petrol from a cheaper place. That robbing bastard there. That's 2p over there. We're going to drive around for 55 minutes and spend 15 quid on petrol, but they're not having an extra 2p off me, them bastards.
And I bet the thing is, when you started to earn money, you'd have felt guilty, you'll have given it away, you'll have sabotaged it. Because again, it's those beliefs, those actions, everything taps into it. Yeah.
And I think it's like you said, it's especially in the spiritual realm, there's this thing of like, it's a taboo subject. I know it scares the fuck out of people. When I'm at events and obviously because I'm carrying a drum and I look all like shamanic and it's like I start talking about abundance and I'm like, every one of you is a liar because inside you, it wants to be rich. You don't want to be poor. Like right inside there's something that's going, actually, and you're suppressing it. It's like, because when have you ever, at any point in your life, thought, I want to be poor. I want to not have enough money to pay my bills. You're like, I wish I had loads of money. But you get in the spiritual world. It's like, I can't say that. Push that down. And it's fucking bullshit. It's like, get it out. Let's talk about it. Let's make it a nice conversation. We don't have to be like fucking hippies living in the ground, like with nothing and just meditating and going, oh, things will come to me. The success will come. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it won't. You've got to take fucking action, man. Do something and you've got to work hard. And when people see people like us being successful, it's because we fucking worked hard, man. I see you grafting. I see you everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Do you really?
And, online. Like, it's like when I started, when Nick said you were coming on the show and I was just like, wow, she's like a little rocket, but you seem like you're on it and where you've come from and how quickly you've shifted it. And then to go into like, find something that you're super passionate about in terms of the belief coding.
Yeah, I love it.
And I know it's totally a fact. I feel that a lot of what I've done is belief coded, but without me knowing it. And sometimes on your spiritual journey, you find a teaching, like, oh, I've done that, but I didn't know it was called that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But no, it is there. There's a great book actually called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by, have you read it?
No.
I think it's by Catherine Ponder, but in it she goes, like, we're taught that money is the root of all evil. Well, actually, lack is the root of all evil because it's totally true because when people live in lack, it makes you do things that you would never normally do. Whereas I truly believe that money is an enabler. If inherently you're a good person, it's always going to bring those attributes out. Whereas if inherently you're not a great person, again, it's going to bring out not great attributes.
Exactly,
but no, it's really,
So the more spiritual and heart-based people that can be rich, the better the fucking planet will be. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a beautiful place. That's what we're trying to do.
Me too.
Hi guys, we've got an amazing deal for you at the moment. 500 gram bag of cacao, my book, Dealer to Healer, and a Paulo Santo. So if you are wanting to gift somebody a beautiful present, that gives you 3 different options. So you got 3 Christmas presents for people straight away, 44 quid, saving money and giving somebody a beautiful gift. Merry Christmas, have a good one. Happy birthday, Jesus. Happy birthday, Jesus. Peace. Good.
But I don't have anything to say. You've just wowed me there,
You don't
Liam.
have anything to say?
No, he's...
Right, okay, Nick. Right, James, we're finished. That was the quickest one we've done. Thanks, Jessica. You were late, so now your time's up. See ya.
You're probably stunned by. I'm never usually stunned for words. I'm like, he's so clever. He's so wise.
Because my thing is, so the natural flow of the only truth of the universe. Do you want me to have that? Do you want me to take care of that?
No, I found. I feel like I'm eating sushi now.
I would have straight at it. She's got spicy ginger now. Gonna have spicy ginger burps for a little while. No, but getting to that, the only truth of the universe is overflowing abundance and overflowing expansion. It just keeps expanding. It keeps expanding. So if we are not expanding and if we are not creating more abundance in all aspects of our life, in health, in prosperity, in like fitness, in like love,
Everything.
in relationships, then we're out of flow with the universe. I said it on the podcast yesterday. Muksharitam is God. Grant me the which is God, which is the hymn of the universe.
Yeah.
Muksha is liberation, freedom, sovereignty, and the ritam is to be in flow with the universal consciousness. So it's God, please grant me the sovereignty, the freedom to be in flow with the universe. So if I'm in flow with the universe, I'm flowing
down the
man.
stream,
I'm creating,
Yeah.
Like you've got to be creating.
Yeah.
And creativity is where that's where your abundance comes from. That's what we are here to do. We are all creators. It's to believe that you are creator. We are creator. We are all everything. We all got genius within us. The creator gave us genius. And then we realised we are creator and we gave ourselves genius. It's a bit of a head fuck.
Yeah,
But
no, I totally
the
get
Atman
it.
and then the Brahma, it's like, realise you are an aspect of God, then realise you are God is like the enlightenment.
So I suppose then, in that case, like belief coding would be, for the people who don't already realise that they have that God within them, it's because of society, their life, their experiences has closed that connection. So in essence, it would reopen the connection.
Totally.
Because it would take
And that's why, especially in the West, we're like, people are really like hungry for the yoga, for the spiritual practices, for the breath work, for these things like belief coding and pranayama. Everything that's coming out is because it's like we haven't got a purpose, like on a spiritual level, and actually we've kind of gone against the grain with religions that our parents and grandparents would have been indoctrinated into. It's like, what's the truth? Like, what's the truth is actually I'm a spiritual being. It doesn't matter what religion, what race, what sex you are. You can all practice breath work, you can all practice yoga, and we're all here really to reach the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. So whereabouts are you on the level now then?
Enlightened. I don't know. No, I'm
you're totally in flow, aren't you?
But I'm just on the path and nowhere near enlightenment, like nowhere near, but trying to get to deeper levels of yogic powers. And then you realize what yogis have been doing for thousands of years. And like you said, the yogi has been doing pranayama to keep his temperature hot in the Himalayas in the middle of winter. And the scientist goes, how are they doing that? They must be like just a weird kind, like with Wim Hof, they were just he's a freak. Do you know what I mean?
I love Wim Hof
and then
too,
they did the tests and he went, actually, give me 5 of your people, I'll teach them how to do this in 5 days. And he taught them and he's like, oh, he's not a freak. So when the scientist goes back up into the Himalayas, he's like, excuse me, yogi, we've been researching what you've been doing for 20 years and we realized that yes, you can regulate your temperature via your breath. The yogi's like, thank you very much. But if that's your thing, man, it's like, and it's good. It backs things up, doesn't it? And
that's what I need.
Some people who are not into that, just like, I can feel this is right. This works. I need a paper to tell me that it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need a certificate before I can start teaching people and sharing my wisdom. It's like, give me a certificate from a wall. I know some people who've got fucking hundreds of certificates on the wall. They're fucking useless teachers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny actually because I think that's one of the big drivers actually. So for me, with it, like I've had some mental experiences doing belief coding where I've gone back to being an alien. I've gone back to the life before this life. Like really, amazing experiences. So for me, I truly believe it's been guided. It's been a gift from God, and definitely a co-creation. Whereas, and again, yourself, like literally, like this year, like we're having big growth now. Whereas over the past 6 months, about 6-12 months ago, when you go through like a bit of another dark night of the soul where a lot of stuff came at me and I was like, fucking, that's a lot of belief going on. I'm having to do some real soul searching. The feeling where you're like, and you're thinking of giving it all up. So for me, like having it science back, go on.
So do you belief code yourself?
Oh yeah, all the time. Okay. Yeah, I do it as like a daily practice. And the thing is like, so I'll never ever, essentially it heals any traumatic experience. But for me, like I've had stuff that's happened in my past, which has been quite heavy and quite deep, but I'll never go searching for the heavy, deep stuff because essentially if I go searching for everything bad that's happened to me, I'm going to open up so many wounds. I'm going to convince myself I'm broken and I'm going to be stuck in the past. Whereas where I want to be going to the future. I want to be creating. I want to be living. So every time I set something or a goal or, one of my huge goals is I want to do £1 million in a month. And like, touch wood. I feel it's coming soon because I've done a lot of work.
Some wood there, kick it. That's a big piece of wood.
I touched it. It was definitely a struggle with the mic. But with it, I'll always set myself a goal, and then whatever needs to come up from my past to heal, I'll heal it. And I've had to heal stuff like real, like forgiveness. And for me, like my friend Kim, so I've also launched Breakthrough Breathwork with my friend Kim, which is a breathwork certification, and she's like, fuck forgiveness. I'm like, So it's quite interesting because she has a totally
Can
different
I get
perspective.
Kim on the show?
Yeah,
Because I'll fuck her right up. Fuck forgiveness. That's your shit, baby. It's your shit. You got to forgive everyone.
It's true, isn't it?
Forgiveness is a gift. Give yourself this gift from time to time.
Yeah. And that's what I think for myself, like I've had to, for me, if I need to forgive people who've done stuff that's affected me, then I'll do everything in my power to forgive them, because it
Doesn't mean you have to have them in your life.
No, and it's me that's holding on to it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So believe my throat's going now. I'm talking about the deep stuff. So for me, I think with all of this sort of stuff and all the medicine. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much, Ella. For all the medicine, like for all of this kind of stuff, the alchemy, the medicine, anything that will get me to where I want to be, to the highest part of creation, I'll always go within to heal what needs to heal. And sometimes, man, it's real heavy.
Yeah. Go
but it has to be
within,
done.
go within or go without is a great saying.
You're totally right. Yeah, go within or go without. I love that. So yeah, that's what Belief Coding does.
And so in terms of like you want to hit £1 million sales in a month, what's that selling?
Belief Coding, so it's
courses.
Yeah, so I developed Belief Code and I created it, and then people.
She's got to help us do our courses now, by the way.
Oh, I totally can. Yeah. But honestly, so like literally, so I've got a lockdown. Actually, I was spoken at an event last week, and have you ever met your heroes? Oh my God, they said to me.
He met Gary Neville this morning.
Was he an actual hero?
It wasn't my hero. He's my nemesis.
My God. So is it? Oh, I actually met my hero last week, right?
Who's that?
He's my coach, right?
Okay.
He's called Russell Brunson. He's like a multi-millionaire. Like he's huge. He's like one of the best.
Is that who Josh was trained with as well? Josh Connolly?
No, so he's breathwork. So Russell Brunson, he does all like marketing. He's the funnel guy. He owns ClickFunnels.
Okay, yeah.
So he's my coach, right? Anyway, he was speaking at this event, headline speaker with me.
If you want to start your cacao journey today, head over to www.fullpowercacao.com, and to get 11% off your first order, use the code FULLPOWER2012 at checkout and start to feel that full power vibration today. Now, back to the podcast. Enjoy.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm going to have to do a Belief Coding session on this. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my God, I love you. And then I was like, and we both have 5 kids and we share the same birthday. And this guy was like, I was like, oh my God. And then it got worse. And do you know when you keep seeing people? And then my friend Tina's like, just go and talk to him. Tell him about Belief Coding. I was like, no, God, no, he's going to think I'm a loser. And I was like, oh, I could just do a Belief Coding session. So I did like a 15-minute session, like felt really confident.
Yeah.
I was like, hi, Russell, just want to say this. And then all of a sudden, I just broke down in tears. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with this kid, so emotional. Absolutely mortified. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know where I'm going with this story, but what we were talking about moments before. I don't know where I'm going with that. Funnels. Yeah,
funnels.
Meet Your Heroes, funnels. So if you actually do need help with automation and courses, I literally am your girl.
Right.
But yeah.
Adam, write it down.
I remembered the question.
She said that. Remember that recording? We've got that on. We've got that recorded.
Yeah, don't hold me to it. I'm flaky, you know. But late today.
Roy Keane was there early. He was well disappointed with you. Do you know what Roy Keane's biggest saying is?
Oh, it's something to do with time, isn't it?
It's something to do with time, yeah.
Come on.
So it's...
just opening the heart chakra now.
Being early is on time.
Yeah.
Being on time is late. And being late is fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, I am unacceptable. I totally feel it.
No, you weren't late. You just forgot the whole thing.
Hashtag awkward turn moment, 37.
Oh, we can't even brain perimenopausal yet.
No. Gee, do I look old?
No,
I've had a tough week this week.
But you've had 5 kids and you're 37. That's some going, man. Jesus, you pop them out. It's like Irish style. 40s Island.
My husband wants another one. I'm like, I can't have any more children to learn. And I quite like my car at the moment. I'm like, I can't have a people carry. I'm not there yet.
You'd have to get a school bus, man. Jesus Christ.
Do not put that out into the universe. But in short, with Belief Coding, so people, they train to be Belief Coders and then they can offer Belief Coding sessions. So in 3 years, we have just over 1,700 facilitators. It's cool, isn't it?
All trained from you?
All trained from me, yeah.
Wow.
And then
that's global?
Global, yeah. So we're in America, we're in Australia, where else are we? New Zealand, all of Europe. It's really cool.
Man.
I know.
I didn't realise you were such a big potato.
Don't be daft. I mean, I've got a skinny cheese on too. Potato
Smashing
march.
Smashing it.
But I love it. And then when we launched our breakthrough breathwork, we've got about 200 facilitators since February. So it's got. But to be fair, I do spend a lot of money on advertising.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter as long as you can put as long as the ROAS is hitting at the right level, then you're all right.
And also, do you know what? It's funny actually because every time I've just done a big 3-day challenge. And the course itself, it's a decent investment to become a facilitator. So for me, it's amazing because people join the sign up, earn a really, really good living, doing something that I love it. Like I'm obsessed with my business, I'm obsessed with my clients, but also because of the free, like that masterclass, it allows people who would never have access to this to actually go through the process, learn tools that literally change their life, and experience belief coding. And I think that, like, even though I spend a lot of money on advertising, it's money well spent because it opens it up to people that don't have the funds to be able to access this kind of work. Okay. And they get loads of tools for free. On the masterclass, we have people literally, they'd had physical pain for years. Like literally it's gone on this free masterclass. They've had lifelong limitations gone on a free masterclass. Like, that's amazing, right?
Right, and then so the masterclass basically is like a funnel to get people to sign up and do the actual training.
Yeah, so how many people? I think we had about 142 people sign up this week, which is amazing. And then through the actual masterclass, I think we had about 1,000. So it's good, isn't it?
It's banging, yeah. And where do you put them on? Just all over the place?
So on Facebook, so we do, it's a Facebook Live, it's a challenge, it's over 3 days, and then we do like emails. But yeah, I love it. Wow. I absolutely love it.
And how did you learn all that?
From
this guy, from this funnel guy?
The funnel stuff. So, but the actual, so his work, like to do the marketing, it's amazing. So he teaches you how to put funnels together. But for me, like you said, I believe that creation is the best sort of form of, reaching your full potential. And every time I go into anything, I'm like, right, okay, how can I know it sounds super cheesy, but I'm
doesn't matter. Would you rather be rich and cool would you rather be
both?
Poor?
I'd like to be both.
Would you rather be poor and cool or rich and uncool?
Cheesy, yeah.
No, what would you, that's in Jen Sincero's book, I'm a Badass at Making Money.
Yeah.
It's like, what would you rather be? And it's like, actually, I'd rather be rich and fucking uncool and cheesy.
Yeah,
Fuck
I am
it.
cheesy.
So what?
But no, so every time I go into anything, I'm like, right, how can I make sure that every single person on that masterclass has a breakthrough, has a shift, has something that they can feel really good about. So every time I go into it, like I give everything, and I love it, and I truly believe, you see what hang on, you reap what you sow.
Reap what you sow.
Yeah, you got it right. And I totally believe that.
I'm perimenopausal.
Me too. I'm not really. I'm only 37. But yeah, so I totally believe that, I'm working with God, with the universe, like I truly believe in God. And yeah, I totally believe that I'm working with that energy and with that power because, on paper, it doesn't make sense what I've created, but I also believe in being exceptions to the rules, being the rebel. And I remember when I first launched Belief Code, because it goes deep and it heals, we've had people who've had schizophrenia, borderline personality disorder, really serious, labels attached to their condition, totally gone. So on paper it doesn't make any sense why or how I've been able to create this, but to me, like everything through my past, every book I've read, every course I've been on, every experience I've had, it makes total sense. And when I launched it, oh my god, I got so much grief. People saying scam artist, cult, and I was like, fucking hell. And again, you do the inner work, and now bring it on. People say what they want to say.
The more haters you get, the more successful you're going to be.
Yeah.
It means the more successful you are.
Oh,
it's just like the challenge. No, it's like the better you do, and the more haters you will get. So it's like bring them.
That's what I feel
and
like
what
now.
they don't realise is they're bringing more light to you. They're putting more eyes on you. And then what more people? Some people will believe the bullshit that they're saying, but also some people will go, oh, I saw some bullshit about you, and then I watched you and I was like, actually, this person's awesome. So actually, that person's marketing for you that's beefing you out online or something. So it's like you just got to spin it. Everything's to your favour. And because I don't know if you're like me, but if I don't like something, it gets fuck all of my attention.
Yes, no.
Zero. I won't be like, and this girl, she's me. It's like, I just don't give them any attention. It's like, it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly the same. And for me, I can't get into the headspace of, if you don't like something, like it takes your energy up to actually express how much you don't like. Whereas
because they love you really. Love and hate's very, very. If you're hating something, paying attention, you're actually in some way loving it because you don't pay any attention to something that you don't like.
Yeah, I like it. Do you know, that reminds me actually, I read a great quote. where a lot of people, they're so scared of showing up because they're worried about the judgment. Whereas actually, you know, there's people literally waiting for them to show up.
Yeah.
And I spoke about this, I think, on Friday. So I've got like 50,000 followers on Instagram. Sometimes I'll show up and 2 people are online. I'm like, hey. And before, do you know what I mean though? Before I'd be like, oh my God. Whereas I'm like, bloody hell, you know, 2 people showed up. Yeah.
You give them more attention.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah. And I think that's the narrative, is in the sense of, you know, we're so worried about, you know, what Mary thinks or Jeff or Bob, that we're not actually thinking, you know, Sally's waiting for me.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know these people, but, you know, like, Sally's
Sally
there.
from Cleethorpes. Yeah, she's lovely. She's a nice little lady.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah. She's really nice. She does like a really good kind of like Greek vegan salad with avocado.
Sally's Cafe.
Yeah, Sally's Cafe. She's a gem. And she did your belief coaching course, and before that, her cafe was like empty. She was struggling for money, and then she like just did this signature dish after your belief coding, and like everyone's after Sally's salad.
Told you, it's life changing.
Boom. And when did you first discover belief coding?
So I created it.
Okay.
So my past. I was abused when I was younger by a close family friend. Suppressed my memories till being 29, and then I've got 5 children. My 3 girls are with my ex-partner, and he died from suicide. And then, and then a month after he died, me and my current partner, we had a miscarriage. So in the space of 10 months, I had sexual abuse come up. My 3 girls lost their biological father, and we had a miscarriage. Now, up until this point, I was a total believer in, you know, the power of positive thinking, the universe, and it made me question everything, because I could not, when the abuse came up, I could not comprehend how that had happened to me and how I'd forgotten that. And I fell totally into, well, I think I'd always been in victim mentality, actually, for all of my life. It was always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
And I think, so that's kind of catapulted these feelings again of like, you know, how could this happen to me? And then when the girl's father died, again, that was, I would say, was the catapult of like, what the fuck? I need to just do something here. And purely to make sure that my girls would be okay, because with suicide, you know, I didn't want them to hold on to abandonment. I didn't want them to hold on to anything that, I didn't want them to make it mean something that wasn't true. So then I started to train in loads of different stuff. Stuff that I trained in earlier, like, started to come back full circle.
So you were still kind of on your spiritual path before that happened?
Yes, I've always, I mean, I used to, when I was like 13, 14, I used to read books like, you know, How to Influence People, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, you know, how to, what's another one? How to Make Anybody Like You.
Yeah, some light reading for a 12-year-old.
Private education.
I was just banging to FHM. It's like, position of the month in Cosmopolitan.
I wasn't a like child. So I was like, how can I make people like me? What's wrong with me? And then, so all of this stuff started to come full circle. And then again, I truly believe, like, you know when something calls you, don't you? So I'd hear about something, I'd hear it again. So anything that called me, I'd just naturally follow that path. And then I started to just doing all this different stuff. I started to pull things together. And then my life totally changed, in the sense of I just realised I wasn't who I thought I was, in the most profound way, because I think I used to suffer with daily anxiety, but I believed, I'm just a naturally anxious person, you know. But that's not real. You know, nobody's a naturally anxious person. You're being triggered left, right and centre, hence why you feel anxious. But again, you know, I thought I was just a natural worrier, but I didn't realise that it was my past that was creating everything. Anyway, when I returned back to work after the girl's dad had died, I took a year off to do loads of training. And then I started to do business coaching, and I'd teach people like how to make money, like, without doing any advertising. Big mistake, that was hard work. Definitely do the advertising. But I started to pull together like everything I'd learned in a sequence, everything I'd read, and then that became belief coding. And my clients that did belief coding, they would have bigger success because they'd take the action. Whereas the clients that didn't, they'd have all right success, but they were 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And then my guides, actually, my spirit guides, you were like, right, you need to just focus on transformation. But at this point, when you start working, well, I don't know how you felt. When I first started working with my guides, I was like, is this in my head? Do you know what I mean? I was like, is this real? And then, I was like, right, I'm just going to go for it. And again, I had the belief of that people don't want to transform. You know, they want to earn money, they want to do business. And then I launched belief coding. And everything has just been guided to the amount of money that I spend on advertising, to every decision that I make. I fully trust that everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to happen. And yeah, and so far so good. It's been amazing.
So a couple of questions actually, just from listening, is the first one is, how do you feel that the abuse that you went through how does it set you up to work with your clients? And how do you feel about it now?
Yeah, so now I can talk about it without any emotional charge, whereas when I'd first talk about it, I'd get really upset. I'd go into that spell of depression. I'd be like, oh, that wound's open. It's not scabbing over yet. And don't get me wrong, like even sometimes, like I was showing you about my finger. Sometimes things...
I thought you was just telling me to fuck off.
Yeah, let me tell you about this, okay? I will actually tell you about my finger because this is quite relevant to the abuse stuff. Now I've had to forgive Stuart, the guy that abused me, in quite a few reflections. I know I'm not fully there with the forgiveness, and I know there's still, well, maybe there's not, I don't know. Maybe that's a belief, but I know when it's come up to do with abuse, I've done everything I can to forgive in that moment, and I feel like I truly have. Anyway, a month ago, I set my goal to do like £1 million month, which is this month. We've done a quarter of it. Well, yeah, it's quite good. Jigga jigga. Not gone yet. And as I digress, anyway, so I truly believe that, things are in our way. So where I live on this country lane. And like they're really tight, you've got to like stop and manoeuvre and all this jazz. And the road was blocked. There was literally an obstacle in the road to my destination, a sign. I was like, oh, just move this sign so this car can get past. As I got out of the car, I shut the door and it trapped my finger, and it's a really heavy door, right? But what was really interesting, so I truly believe from everything I've seen and experienced, physical pain is the suppression of emotional pain, and it has to come out of your body. So when I've trapped my finger in the door, all of this grief, this shame, this judgment started to come up, and it was so painful. But it was coming out as the pain in my finger, and I was like this sacred rage, everything is coming up. I had my five kids in the back. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, it doesn't look great, but I promise you I'm okay. And also a lot of people aren't used to seeing emotions, right? And even my partner, so he because I don't really cry now. Not like I just don't really cry, because I would say I'm quite stable with my emotions. If I need to cry, I'll cry. Anyway, so I managed to get home, and I was like, I'll be in 5 minutes. And then I just cried for 90 minutes. But all of this, everything was coming out, And then talking about forgiveness, I was like, how dare you do this to me? How dare you do this to me? But when I was speaking it, the words were just coming up and out. I wasn't consciously saying or consciously connecting it to anything. And then as soon as I said that, it was like, but I forgive you, but I forgive you. And then the third time when I said, but I forgive you, the pain went. Just went. But now my nail's going to come off. But if I look back from a spiritual perspective, nearly broke my finger, really painful. But actually, I've set myself a huge goal. There's obstacles that are always in the way. You have to move them out of the way. And
you put the obstacles there as well, by the way. Yeah. Obstacles. If you are interested in holding your own cacao ceremonies for your community, then come and train with us at Full Power Cacao Facilitator Training. We've got 2 dates coming up in 2025. Just head over to the website, check out the details, and book on if it is calling you. Now, back to the podcast.
Oh, the universe, yeah?
No, they're yours. You put them there.
What?
All obstacles are created by ourselves.
I'll say it again.
All obstacles are created by ourselves.
I feel I need to expand on that.
So when Ganesha is the remover of obstacles, and he will show you that when you're hitting your head against, pretend you're water and you're going down the river and you're hitting your head against a big boulder, Ganesha comes and goes, you're water. You're like, oh, fuck. Why didn't I know that? And you flow around the obstacle. Yeah. And then when you get to the sea, Ganesha goes, do you know the obstacle there? You put that there and it's only your obstacle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Because I think with everything, and also as well, I'd started to work with the energy of Kali, literally, so...
Dangerous.
I think that's what I was saying. So literally, the obstacles in the road, and when you do belief code and everything will come up that needs to heal to get to the goal, but I obviously wasn't going deep enough. So evoking Kali has allowed me to literally feel the pain, to remove it. And actually, this has been possibly one of the best launches from a mentality perspective, from just feeling really grounded and really secure in what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't think you answered my question.
Oh, did it? Oh, sorry.
No. I felt like I was talking to a politician. It's like you just went round and round and round and round and round. So maybe I didn't ask the question correctly.
No, you probably did. I go off on tangents.
So basically, I as a soul,
Yeah.
we choose a situation to be born into. Do you
I
believe
get
that?
Yeah, I do believe that.
So for your soul
Yeah.
to achieve its success that you are achieving, would you say there's something in choosing the abuse, because then that allows you to have the empathy to work with the people
100%.
that you work with?
Yeah, and also, this is one thing I teach my clients actually, because do you have children?
Stepchildren.
Stepchildren. So, like, a lot of the time, we believe this about ourselves. So I truly believe that in a past life, I've chosen to have the life I've had now, because everything makes sense, from the abuse, from absolutely everything. And I say to my clients, I'm like, when they get worried about the children, I'm like, well, do you believe that, we've chosen everything that's happened to us? And they say, yeah. And I said, well, surely if you believe that, you have to believe the same for your children. And it's great healing. But for me, I know that if that wouldn't have happened to me, or if I wouldn't have experienced that, should I say, that it wouldn't have led me to do this. And also, like, even though I went to private school, and my mum and dad could never afford the school fee, so
That's why they didn't teach you how to speak properly.
Yeah. Ouch! Opening that heart again.
No, but everyone I know, like, do you know, like, private school people, they have this, like, generic voice that wherever they've been to school, wherever they've, like, he went to a private school in Liverpool, they sound the same as someone who went to private school in London, and you sound like you're from Burnley.
Yeah, I went Burnley, yeah. But this is the thing, like, we're never in the school because they could never afford the school fees.
Right, okay.
So, like, I'd be out of school for, like, months at a time, and my dad was like, oh, don't worry, we're going to decorate your room. So I thought he'd keep you off school. I'm thinking, I've been in and out of this school for all my life. So, yeah, I truly believe that everything that we go through, we have to go through it. And I think when I work with people, there's not a lot that I don't resonate with, or do you get me?
Yeah.
And I think there has to be something in that. And yeah, like, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change any of my life. And even kind of like with the girl's father, like, he'll come to, pardon me, he'll come in spirit. I do believe coming on the kids, we'll call him in spirit. Yeah. And like, I truly believe that is him coming. That is him, coming in spirit. Because I mean, sometimes I'm like, not today, Alistair. I'm with Alex. I'm with Hunky Chops. But yeah, so I wouldn't change anything. And also, like, this life that we're here now, this is a blip. Like, this is the experience. Yeah. This is, so we get
it's a dream, yeah.
Totally. But you get to feel like the water on your skin. You get to feel the fresh air on your face. You don't get, well, maybe you do when you're just pure energy, but I don't know how that would feel. Yeah. So I truly believe that, that it's just it's a moment in time to help us to grow.
And so where do you think you got, like, the bit, we'll go into, like, the Apprentice and stuff, but what was you kicking, how was you kicking it before that? Because it feels like you've always had a drive and a business nous about you, like, because obviously I come from a council estate, so it was just like my dad was a painting decorator, mum was a secretary. It was the more within your family where you saw success, which was easier for you to find it, because that's what I find with a lot of my mates that I've met that were, went to private school or from wealthy families. For them to step into abundance was a lot easier than for me to step into abundance.
Well, it's interesting, actually. So at school, I was the poor friend. So, and interestingly, whatever you believe about yourself, you attract more of. So growing up, I'd always attract really rich friends because I had to confirm the belief of, I'm the poor one.
Right,
do you know what I mean?
That started happening to me and I didn't understand it. I was like, God's showing me that, because I never knew anyone rich until I was older, until I went to uni. I'd never known anyone rich. Yeah. And then these rich people kept popping up and I'm like, how the fuck can they afford this? Like, why is God showing me all this stuff that I cannot get? Do you know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, no, I was always the poor friend, but my dad.
Poor friend.
But my dad had a second-hand shop. Now, to me, my dad's my absolute hero. He's amazing. And my dad always had loads of self-belief. And I'd go to him with, like, the shittest of ideas. And he'd be like, brilliant. How can we make it happen? But, he wasn't very successful. I said, actually, no, I'll take that back. He was a grafter. But, like, he had a second-hand shop. And, like, I've got a brother and sister. So he's trying to send 3 kids to private school. He couldn't afford to send them. He'd sell a wardrobe, but he would end up selling the same furniture piece to several different people in the hopes something else would come in, and it always did. But then he'd have people coming into the shop being like, you're supposed to deliver that wardrobe for me last night, but he'd already sold it. And
right, okay.
So I think I picked up a lot of stuff.
Entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah, like
hustling.
Yeah,
hustling.
definitely.
Yeah.
But again, the hustling. Like, now I wouldn't say I hustle, whereas now I would say I'm much more sort of focused, strategic. Whereas I spent a long time hustling. And when I hustled, everything, I'd go in those cycles. You know, I'd make money and I'd be like, I'm sure I'm working for money, but I don't know where the money is. So I'd be in the constant flow of all these cycles. And then I haven't particularly I've worked on some money stuff, but when you clear other beliefs to do with, you know, feeling worthy, feeling good enough, you know, you naturally clear stuff to do with money. So again, I would say my dad gave me the self-belief in which I carried on. Whereas when I was with my ex-partner, when we broke up, we had a business. God bless his soul, he took bloody everything. I had to move back in with my mum. I had to go on benefits with 3 kids. Like literally he just took everything. But again, if that wouldn't have happened, and I was in total burnout, but if that wouldn't have happened.
So was that your rock bottom, do you reckon? Like going through that, moving back in with your mum, being on benefits?
I thought that was my rock bottom, but my rock bottom was literally when the miscarriage, because that was after Alistair died, after abuse, and
after
I was
all that had come up.
Yeah, so that was like, whoa. Whereas up until that point, you know, I'd always felt I'd always had insecurities and didn't feel great. But when I became a single mum, I literally felt like there was a massive fall from grace. However, I know that had to happen because from that, I had this drive that I had to prove to everyone that I'm good enough, and I had a drive for validation. Whereas now I don't touch wood, I don't really think I have that. And I think that was the only reason really why I went onto The Apprentice, because I wanted to show people that I'm clever enough, I'm smart enough.
But did you have a business to get onto The Apprentice? Do you have to have a business, or do you just have to be?
No, so you did so. But again, like no one actually knows this. This is like a spoiler alert. But actually, when I went on The Apprentice, I was literally I had a business. My friend had a marketing company. I started to work for her. Hang on, let me get my timeline. Yeah, sorry. So when I moved back in with my mum, I lived with her about 6 months. Then I needed to get a job, so I started working for my friend in a marketing company, and then on sales, and she made me a director and equal shareholder. And then I started a fashion brand called Prodigal Fox with my sister, and then I applied for The Apprentice. But back then, you know, like we would get dividends, but the marketing company, it was all right, but it wasn't making loads. Whereas I think people think when you're a business owner, you're minted, and then they do, don't they? Like, and then when I had the fashion brand, again, you know, people thought, oh, she's minted, whereas really, you know, I'm on housing benefits.
Yeah. Anyone can open a limited company.
Yeah.
You could set one up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and so I went on The Apprentice with that, and then when I came off The Apprentice, I was absolutely terrified that I was going to get found out that I was on benefits. My dad had to lend me money so I could come off benefits, because I was so scared. Because in my head, my beliefs were people think I'm this super successful entrepreneur. Really, I'm on housing benefit. And it was just really messy. Anyway, again, that was the driving factor to actually go out and do something, and actually to... You know, it's funny when you tap into your survival instincts, crazy things happen. And a lot of people, they believe they're, you know, not playing it safe, but everyone's playing it safe. And it's only literally when you have to go to that survival, and like, there's more stuff that's happened. And even with this last launch, like literally I put everything from my business into this launch. I had about 1,200 quid left after paying finances, but I was like, I'm going all in, you know. But because I've gone all in, it's allowed me, you know, to do like a 300 grand launch, which is freaking amazing, right? Wow. But you operate from a different place. You operate when you have trust and belief in yourself. You operate. So in answer to your question, which I think I've gone around the houses to, I think the thing that's kept me going with business is there's always been a spark of belief that I know I can do it. And when you believe, it don't matter what's thrown at you, because that belief keeps you moving forward.
Yeah, and you like just observing your driving, your energy. Like I saw you at some event the other day. I was like, just amazing. Like I see that you can lift a whole room, a whole audience. You know, that's what I do in my cacao ceremonies, and what I'm trying to do is like, just like, fucking hell, we don't have to sit down here and be bored all day. Let's get up and move our fucking bodies. Let's swear at each other. Let's fucking have a laugh. Let's you know, let's have fun. Do you know what I mean? And then let's do some serious shit. Like let's do a bit of admin. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. But it's like let's make everything as much fun. And I really, by just what I've seen of you, you seem to make everything and everyone that works with you really fun. But what I want to know is, what's the aim for you financially and professionally? What do you what does whatever those financial dreams are, or ambitions, what do they allow you to do?
It's weird, actually. I think you're quite similar. Like, I love money. I love making money. And I love doing it in a way that I get to actually help people. Well, not even actually, to be fair, not help people because it comes from them.
Support, empower, inspire is what we say.
I love it.
You can't fucking help anybody. They can only help themselves.
Yeah. And I think that's what drives me in the sense of I've got the tool, but they have to do the work. But it's weird, actually. Like, I love the money, but I'm not money motivated. Like, when I have it, it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, oh, look at this, look what we've done, that's really cool. Whereas actually, I actually don't know what the motivator is. My children are a massive motivator. You know, my family is, but actually I really love having fun and I really love having freedom. And I think when you do that and you earn a living doing that, like, but that's it. Like, I have fun in my life, and because of that, I think that's why I make a living. So when I think of the goals, like, I want to do the £1 million month, but I don't even know why I want to do it. Like, there's no. I just think it's a really cool thing to be able to do.
Not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why would you not? Why would you not have £1 million month?
I know. Like, everyone's like, why do you want to do it? And I started to tell myself this lie, like, I've been a single mom benefits. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. But I teach that anyway, and that's not the reason. There literally is no reason to want to do it. I just want to do it. And then when I do it, if there's £1 million in my bank, cool. If there's not, cool. I actually don't know what it is.
But what people don't realise is if you do £1 million sales, that's not £1 million in your bank.
No.
People are like, she's got £1 million. And actually, do you know what, guys? £1 million is fucking nothing. £1 million does not. What is it? Someone said you need 4.8 million in the bank to, like, be financially free and live a decent standard of living continually based on the interest that you would create from 4.8 million.
Wow. Yeah, okay, that's my new goal.
Well, yeah, I can't remember who it was, but I was just like, okay, that's cool.
That makes sense.
That's understandable because people go, oh, $1 million. It's like, what would $1 million get you? You'd get a half decent house in Manchester, some holidays, be able to send your kids to private school for a couple of years, then you've got nothing. Because unless you earn the money and know how to create wealth, being given wealth will just disappear. You have to become rich within yourself to be able to then continually create wealth and income.
Oh, I love that. Like, that's really hit me, actually. Like, it, but when someone says it, it hits you in a different way. Become rich within yourself, because it's that nurture, isn't it? Oh, that's hit my heart.
Well, it's like most people who win the lottery lose all the money. Or they spend it because they haven't got a clue. Like, why have you not invested it? Go and actually spend. Like, for me, my analogy when I'm speaking at events now is like, like, you all want to be rich and you all think about being rich. And some of you won't fucking admit that you want to be rich. Yeah? And actually, none of you are doing anything about it. You're not studying anything about money, about being rich, about being wealthy, about abundance. I went, but if you want to make a lasagna, you go and look up a recipe. You go to the fucking shop, buy all the ingredients and make the fucking lasagna. Being rich is just the same thing. Go and get the recipe, go and get the ingredients and start fucking preparing it, you lazy bastard.
Yeah. No, you're so right. And actually, I think a lot of the time, especially in this community, I think because when you're spiritual, everyone believes in manifestation, but actually there's a science and an art to manifestation. And don't get me wrong, I truly believe that sometimes the magic does happen. Whereas when you're waiting for the magic to happen, you're waiting in an energy of lack, which means you're going to repel the very thing that you want. So I think
it's like, I will be happy when.
Yeah.
It's like, no, be happy now.
Yeah. Yes. And I tell you what, there's a great book I read, actually. It's not spiritual at all, but it's called The Gap in the Game by a guy called Dan Sullivan. And I've read it probably only maybe 3 months ago, but it totally flipped my perspective. Whereas I'm very much goal orientated. I love it. Like, I love it when I reach something.
There.
Yeah, I'm getting there, whatever. But I've been living in the gap. And the gap is when, you're looking at your goal, it's over here, you're here, you started there. But you're looking at it, so you're looking at it from deficit, so you're always going to feel not good enough. Whereas when you look
Enjoy the journey, not the destination.
And I've totally flipped my script, and now I'm like, fuck, like, that's where I was, this is where I am, that's where I'm going. It's totally flipped it.
But then also, don't be so fixated on that you miss something even greater, because there might be something even greater. So it's like, just enjoy the journey, but don't be fixated on the destination, because there could be something else that's just like, oh fuck, man, like better. I missed it because I was like tunnel visioned on that.
Take them off.
Totally. But what was the other question I was going to ask you then? There was another thing that I was going to ask you. I forgot.
A great question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it Ivan perimenopausal?
No, the big question. No, there wasn't. No, I've remembered it. Oh, wait.
You're playing with me now, aren't you? You're toying with me.
What was it, Nick? Dot Cotton or Pat Butcher? Big spiritual quest. If you had to choose one.
Oh, you see, I think it's going to be Pat Butcher, and I don't know why. Like, it was like, Dot Cotton was in my head. It was like, Dot Cotton. I was like, it's going to be Pat. I think Pat Butcher, because she's got this, like, I'm going after it.
Pub.
Yeah, but she's got like a softie. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Dot Cotton, I can't imagine going after Match. You know what I mean?
She'd probably stab you in your sleep, Dot Cotton.
I mean, that's probably why I've not chosen Dot Cotton, you know?
Yeah. No, actually, what I was going to say was within the yogic. I don't know if you study yoga, but within the niyamas of yoga. So these are like the things that we should do. Yeah. You have santosha, which is contentment, which is like be content with where you are. Yeah, be happy whatever your situation is now. Just find a way to be happy within that. Yeah. And then people go, okay, this is enough. It's like, no, because the next niyama is tapas, which is discipline, grit, determination, to dream big. So be content, but still dream big, and be content at every step along that journey to wherever you're trying to get to, and don't miss the other more magnificent destination. Right, guys, we have got an offer for you. If you want to keep your space and yourself clean, cleansed, and purified, we are offering all our podcast listeners 5 sticks of the finest Palo Santo for £5. That is £1 per stick. Just put in the code Paolo5 at checkout. Now back to the podcast.
See, I feel like that's where I've just stepped into, and only like, because this is the first time in my life that when I used to do launches before, if I didn't hit my targets, I'd make it mean something. Even though I was making incredible money, I'd be like, oh God, I've only done this, I've only done that. And looking back now, I'm like, oh, it's totally cringe. I mean, that's great. Whereas now it's like, oh, do you know what? I know, I've got a feeling that that's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, but I don't make it mean anything because I totally trust that everything is in a compounding effect. Everything is happening the exact way it should. And I think
Go on. Finish.
No, I was going to say, so like literally now I feel totally content, totally happy. Just really... I feel like since doing my finger, I literally feel like I let go of a lot of stuff that I've been holding on to for a lot of years. And I just feel really secure, really grounded, really, just really good. And like, and actually I'm listening to, what's the book I'm listening to? It's called The Super Conscious Path by Chris Duncan. And he's like, when you can be in the place where you don't need anything and be happy. I was like, yeah. And then I started to imagine, if everything got taken away from me, who would I be? And I'd be the same person. And don't get me wrong, I like everything that I've got. But it's before, if I didn't have those things, it was a thing, like, oh, I need this because that makes me this. Yeah. Whereas now, I don't really need everything, but I just enjoy what I have got. Do you get what I mean?
Because you get to play with the universe. Like you're playing a game. You Monopoly. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what everything is. It's like you can create and have as much as you want because there's no ceiling on abundance. Us becoming multi-billionaires is not taking from anyone. It's actually creating more wealth and more opportunity for more people, more jobs, more money. It's just creating wealth. Then you go somewhere, you create more wealth. You drop money. You're not. Do you know what? Like the last 2 years for me, I've not once thought about anything that I've bought. I just buy it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I just buy stuff. And there's a book called, I think it's called Side Hustler or Fast Lane Millionaire, MJ DeMarco.
Okay.
And he says, everything you buy should be like buying chewing gum. He said, you've never once gone in a shop and thought, have I got enough money for chewing gum? You just buy chewing gum. Yeah. And he went, every purchase you make should be like that. And from that moment, every purchase that I've made, it's just like, bang, got it, let's do it.
Because it's not even a thing then. It's just like...
Because you've wasted energy thinking about how much something is.
Yeah. And actually, I do when you have something, I do, one of my things is, I mean, maybe there's an unhealed wound here, but I really like going shopping. I love the feeling of that.
Oh God, I can't stand it. Especially in a mall. If I'm with a woman and you go to a mall and I have to go back out, I can't get outside.
No. I love it, by myself though. Like I can't go if I go with hunky chops, I'm like, oh my God, just carry on.
I do like Home Sense though.
Yeah, I like Home Sense. Yeah, when you go in there and you see like a really nice bedside table, you're like, I just bought one. Yeah, know what I mean. And stationery.
I've got 9 bedside tables in my bedroom.
But I like buying a notebook as well. Like, do you know when you go in? Oh my God!
It's 50% off. I'm going to get 5 of them. I've got 4.5 years worth of notebooks.
And the week after, you go and buy another 5.
Exactly, yeah. What is the ultimate ambition for your business and for where you want your family to be? Or is it just, I'm contented and we're just going to keep growing?
No, do you know, actually, now you said it, like, I think the way you framed that question, I'm like, yeah, where am I going? For me, I want belief coding to absolutely hit the masses, because it is the thing that sets people free from fear. It is the thing that sets people free from their mental constraints. And I know, like, if for one person, like one belief code, it impacts like hundreds, if not 1,000 lives, because, you know, you heal a lifelong discomfort. That has the ripple effect on your family. That has a ripple effect on your friends. So for me, the ambition is, I want to get it mainstream. You know, I want to get it into the places that, you know, are trying to be shut down. You know, the places that are just, you know, like if you look at the whole, well, this is my personal belief, but, you know, we're in a bloody world where the systems are broken, they're set up by corruption. Yet, you know, if we can get something like this into those systems with the people that aren't even aware that they're in a broken system. Yeah. No. Do you get what I mean?
I do, but those systems do have to disappear.
Yeah,
completely.
they do, I agree.
And there has to be new systems that come in. Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase that. So what I'm thinking in the near future, I'm going to dismantle the systems.
I'm belief coding her here, guys. Like, I'm coding her at her own game.
You totally are. You're good at this, aren't you? I think we met in a past life. So basically, I'm going to break down the systems and create new ones. No, do you feel that? Do you feel that's part of my purpose? And I do think,
why not, man?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And like anything is possible. And the thing is, like, I truly, truly believe, like, I do believe in the magic, and I do believe in manifestation. And I think the only thing that would stop, and like, you know yourself, you know, crazy things can happen that should never happen, that put you in the perfect place. So I do believe, you know, if you believe it and you vision it, you'll get the steps to take that inspired action, to move forward with faith.
Yeah. And I definitely think you've got the energy to achieve anything that you want to achieve. Because if you think if you think about someone like Rudolf Steiner and you think of all the things that he created during a lifetime, you're like, how the hell did that one person create all them systems? So you're creating a system, you've got the framework, you've got the energy, the vitality to do it, and you're saying, you know, they're going to belief code and carry on the message. Just those people who you've belief coded and trained, just the conversations, the different ways they have conversations, if everyone that they communicate changes all their lives, it's just like pump, ripple, bang, 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 bang. Just trust it, man. You don't even have to know the far reaches of your achievements and where they've got. God will tell you when he does your life review when you get up there. Do you know what I mean? So until then, you don't have to worry about it, but just know that you're smashing it out of the park, and we're proud of you. And we hope that you can put more. Keep it there. You make me feel like a natural woman.
Like a natural woman. You're gonna need this for you next, James.
No, but if we can get like CACAO and belief coding and whatever you want to do, if you feel like it's enhancing like the connection to it, then let's collaborate in some way. And obviously you've put yourself in the situation where you're going to be helping us with our courses and marketing, because we've got that filmed and we'll hold you to that.
But I am being dead serious, because again, you know yourself, don't you? When something is guided, it drops in.
Yeah, man.
You know? Yeah. Full power.
Full power.